Hey, how's it going, guys? Easy PC here with another video bringing you the best $1,000 gaming setup in July of 2017. I haven't done a full gaming setup in a long time, so for $1,000 with this setup, you're going to get not only a gaming PC that's going to be excellent that can play all titles 1080p, you're also getting Windows, a 1080p monitor that is 75 Hz actually, a gaming keyboard, a gaming mouse, and a gaming headset. So you're getting a lot of stuff with this package. It's going to be an awesome video, an awesome deal. So if you've got $1,000 to spend, a lot of my PC builds, I just do videos about a gaming PC without Windows, without any peripherals. This setup for $1,000 is going to be a kick-ass PC with Windows and with the monitor and everything else you're going to need to start gaming. So basically all you're going to have to do after this is buy some games and you're ready to go. Before I get into anything, all of the parts are going to be linked down below in the description, so be sure to check those out if you're interested in getting anything from the video. That being said, we're going to hop right into it. Starting things off is going to be the CPU. I chose the AMD Ryzen 5 1400 3.2 GHz quad-core processor. However, keep in mind this processor does feature multi-threading, which means that each core has 2 threads. Basically, Intel's hyper-threading, meaning that this is a quad-core processor with 8 threads. That means it has 4 physical cores and 4 theoretical cores. So if you're doing any kind of workstation tasks like editing or rendering or streaming, this processor is going to do great. I decided to go against the Ryzen 5 1600 just because that's more of it's a good CPU, but for this budget I thought the Ryzen 5 1400 was very fitting. It will perform very well in all games. It's a very powerful processor for the price of only $157. It's a great processor. So for the motherboard, I chose the ASRock AB350M Micro ATX AM4 motherboard for $63. This motherboard is pretty solid. It is Micro ATX, but that's okay. It's got an AMD B350 chipset, and it does only support 2 288-pin DIMM slots, which is kind of unfortunate, but it still has a max memory of 32 gigabytes, and the RAM we're going to be using is quite fast because it is a B350M chipset. I'm actually able to include 2400 megahertz RAM. So it doesn't have any onboard video or Crossfire LCI support. That's okay because we're going to be using a really cool graphics card. It has 4 SATA 6 GB per second ports, an onboard Ethernet port, and onboard USB 3 headers. Alright, so moving on to the RAM. And by the way, guys, I'm sure a lot of you noticed that this video isn't as smooth as the rest. I don't know, maybe not. A lot of my other videos, I edit the audio just for professionalism and to make it smooth. But, I used to do a lot of storytime commentaries on my other channel, and they were all just completely raw. So I'm going to try and keep this as raw as I can without it being horrible. I'm not the best commentator, but I think it's kind of fun to just talk over the microphone. Anyway, we're going to keep this video rolling. So for the RAM, I chose 2 sticks of 4 GB of G.Skill Ripjaws 4 series DDR4 2400 MHz memory for $60. It's kind of weird that RAM prices have gone up lately, but anyway, this is solid RAM. 8 GB is still amazing for gaming. I don't want anyone to bitch about it not having 16 GB. There are a few games now that do recommend 16 GB, but I promise 8 GB is fine. And honestly, I looked at benchmarks and tests, and the difference between 8 GB and 16 GB as far as gaming is concerned is pretty much negligible. Maybe for other tasks like rendering and that kind of thing, 16 gigs would do you, it'll be better than 8 GB, but for gaming it's fine, and even still for other tasks, 8 GB is still great. I've used that my entire, career on PCs, if you will. For the storage, I feel like this is literally the same hard drive that I use in every single one of my builds as does everyone else. But anyway, you guys probably already know what it is. The Western Digital Caviar Blue 1 TB, 3.5-inch, 7200 RPM hard drive for $50. Not much to really be said here. It's a very reliable brand. It's very long lasting. I've had my hard drive for 2 years now and it hasn't failed me. Knock on wood. It is 1 TB, so you're gonna have plenty of mass storage, and yeah, that's all there is to it pretty much. So for the graphics card, a lot of graphics cards have been going way up in prices lately because of the mining of Ethereum, so it's kind of hard to find a graphics card that isn't like ridiculously priced. So if you waited a few months for new ASIC cards to come out for crypto miners, then the prices may go down, but this is still a pretty good deal considering the prices of most graphics cards right now. Like an RX 470 is like $500 right now because of Ethereum mining, which is a little ridiculous. What's up, man? I was just recording a video, so unfortunately I'm gonna have to decline. Pretty excited for it, but anyway, man, have a good day. I'll probably see you soon. Sorry, I'm just a wanted man, I guess. Anyway, we're going to go with the Zotac GeForce GTX 1060 3GB mini video card for $260. It is only 3GB, but for 1080p gaming, 3 gigs is more than enough. Honestly, 2 should be fine. I didn't go with the 6GB model because that is just way too expensive, and I think you're just kind of throwing away your money right now. Not saying that 6GB is a waste, but like I said, due to crypto mining, it's just overpriced right now. Anyway, for the case, I chose the DIY PC Solar M1-R ATX mid-tower case. I think this case is pretty sleek and sexy, and you guys are going to see soon that I did go with like a black and red kind of color scheme for this setup. So anyway, this case is black and red, like I said. It does not come with a power supply, which is fine. It's got 2 external 5¼ bays, 2 internal 2.5" bays, and 5 internal 3.5" bays, which obviously you guys have probably already inferred that if you wanted to add any external or internal storage, like anything extra, you're going to be more than welcome to do so. This build will support it. The case has plenty of room. It does have front panel USB 3s, as well as a maximum video card length of 15¾ inches. So pretty solid case. It's got good reviews. It seems like it's got good cable management. So you know, not only that, it's only $45, and it looks cool. It just kind of fits in with the build nicely. So this build has an estimated wattage of 270 watts, which is pretty low. Parts have become very power efficient recently, which is awesome. Not only for the electricity bill, but it also makes the price of a power supply lower. So anyway, for $37, I chose the EVGA 500-watt 80+ bronze certified ATX power supply. This is going to be more than enough for the build, and you're not going to be able to run any crossfire, so you wouldn't need to have any more power than this. So yeah, 500 watts, definitely solid, and it is 80+ bronze certified, so it is going to be a decently efficient power supply. It is not modular, unfortunately, but that's okay. You can definitely still have good cable management even with a non-modular power supply. Just go ahead and zip tie off those extra cables and you're good to go. So for the operating system, I chose obviously Windows 10 Home OEM 64-bit for $93, but if you guys don't know, I'm going to link it down below. There's a website, it's actually a forum on Reddit. It's called Microsoft Software Swap. Some people think it's a little bit sketchy, but you can buy Microsoft, you can buy Windows codes or home office codes for like $30, so it's literally a third of the cost. I may have bought my code on it, maybe, wink wink, and I may have had that working code for over 2 years. I've got Windows 7 right now, but the code that I got is fine. You can download the software onto a USB, stick it into your computer, boot from that USB, and use the code that you got from the website on Reddit, and it's going to be a lot cheaper. However, if you guys want to go the legit route and pay the extra $63, and you don't want to save that money, I did leave room in the budget for the Windows. So like I said, it does come with a legit copy of Windows. It's at $93, but if you do choose to get it from Reddit and you save 63 bucks, you can get like probably 4 or 5 games, and honestly, with the Steam summer sale going on right now, you could probably pick up like 10 games with the extra money, and it would only be a $900 build instead of a $1,000 build. Anyway, enough said about the Windows. Moving on to the monitor. I chose a pretty awesome monitor. The AOC, it's a ton of numbers. I'm just not even gonna say it. Like, it's like G2260 VWQ6. That's what it is. It's a 21.5 inch wide monitor, 1920 by 1080, and it is 75 Hertz. So that means you are going to be seeing 60 frames per second, because if you have like a low refresh rate, you won't truly be seeing as many FPS as you're getting. So with this monitor, you're going to have a pretty high refresh rate, and it does have a 1 millisecond response time, which is important for gamers. Some monitors have a 5 millisecond response time, which like you probably can't tell the difference honestly in the scheme of things, but lower is always better, especially if you're very competitive. So I decided to go with this kind of monitor. It is LED backlit. It has 1 display port, 1 HDMI port, and 1 VGA port. It's $120. So moving on to the headset, I didn't get anything too crazy here. $33 of the budget went to the headset. I just chose the Logitech G230. It's got a 4-star review. It looks like a pretty solid headset. I believe it does have surround sound, and it does have a basic microphone. I don't know if you'd want to use this headset for YouTube. If you were planning on being a YouTuber, you probably want to pick up like a Blue Snowball or something higher quality like that. But as far as just communicating in game and talking to your friends on Skype, this is going to be a great headset. I mean, it looks cool. It matches the color scheme is comfortable. Logitech is a very reliable brand. So yeah, enough said. For the keyboard, I chose the Red Dragon Karura K502 wired gaming keyboards. Some people like wireless keyboards. Personally, I like wired keyboards and mice because that way you don't ever have to worry about changing the batteries, and you don't have to, you know, input a USB for the wireless receiver. So you're saving USB ports, you're saving batteries. I just like it better. I don't really think having a wire is a very big deal. So this is a red and black keyboard. Red Dragon is a pretty reliable company. It looks pretty cool. I think it's a nice keyboard. And the nice thing about it is it's very slim. It's got a wrist rest right there for you to put your, you know, when you're gaming for hours, if you're going to be doing that, you want your hands to be comfortable. So this is definitely going to do that for you. It is LED backlit. It actually has a choice of 7 different colors that you can cycle through, which is pretty cool. You can even put it onto a cycling mode where the colors are going to cycle periodically between different colors. But since it's like a black and red keyboard, I would just keep it on red. But if you want to change it, it's there. It is not mechanical, so that's kind of a setback, but I really don't think mechanical keyboards are all that. I don't even have a mechanical keyboard. I've been using it fine. I'm not a professional gamer, but I am competitive, and I haven't had any issues with my keyboard. This keyboard does come with a tool that you can use to remove the keys if you want to switch them out. It's pretty cool, and it is actually extremely quiet. If you look at reviews of this keyboard, you're going to find that the keys are very quiet. So if you're doing any kind of live recording, you don't really have to worry about the sound of your keyboard in the background, because I know that it can get kind of annoying. And then lastly, to finish off this setup, I chose a pretty standard but good gaming mouse, the Razer Death Adder Chroma wired optical mouse. So optical mice are definitely a lot better than laser sensors. They're just a lot more precise. I believe this mouse has like a maximum DPI of like 10,000. It's got 2 macros on the side. I actually have one myself that I use. I've been using it for a long time. I like it a lot. It's very ergonomic. It feels good in my hand. The clicks are very crisp. The scroll wheel is very solid. It's a very durable and sturdy mouse. And furthermore, it's very accurate and precise in gaming. It doesn't have a ton of macros, so if you were doing any kind of like MMO stuff like that, it's not going to be the best mouse for you. But it's still pretty good, and I like it a lot. It's standard. It's got different colors that it cycles through. I think it's a pretty good mouse. So that's going to do it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed this setup. I spent a good bit of time researching the best parts. This PC, like I said, if you want to see the performance of this PC in different games you're going to get, you can basically just type in, like in YouTube, Ryzen 5 1400, and then type in like GTX 1063GB benchmarks or something in gaming, and then you'll find a bunch of videos of people benchmarking this kind of PC, and you can see that you are going to get 60 FPS in all titles, 1080p. And furthermore, you're getting Windows and monitor, everything else. Awesome setup. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. Be sure to share it with your friends. I've been working on a website for the past month, and it's not really close to being finished, but I have made some pretty significant progress, and I'm really excited for you guys to see this site. So I'm gonna close the video off here. I've been talking to you for over 14 minutes. That's a long time. Alright, I will see you guys later. Have a good day. See you guys next time. Peace.